G'day guys, welcome back to another video. This video will give you a quick tutorial on how to use a grenade launcher, the basics of it, a little bit of tabulated data, and a few tips and tricks about how I like to use it. So what you should first know is that all the grenade launchers are exactly the same in terms of arming distance and the lethal radius. So now what do I mean by arming distance? So you can see here, I'm 10 meters away from these targets, and I'll take a shot at them using the grenade launcher. As you can see, nothing happens. That's because I'm within 10 meters. Now, the official arming radius is 11 meters. So I'm back about 11 meters now, and I'll take a shot. Bam. As you can see, I've taken damage from that and it has detonated. Another thing to note is that the lethal radius is 5.5 meters. But I was at least 11 meters away from that, and I still took damage. Now, another thing to note is that you have both HE and markers. I demonstrated before what the HE looks like, and these are the smoke markers. Now, please note that these are not smoke grenades. Smoke grenades create a large plume of smoke that can cover friendly troop movements or obscure the enemy. This merely makes a pillar of smoke, and that's not covering anybody. Now, a quick tip when aiming at enemies. What you want to do is aim for the base of the enemy at anything greater than about 25 meters. Now, specifically for the GP25, this shoots a little short at closer distances. So if you see if I aim at the base of the enemy here, just reload. It lands way short, only 25 meters. So for the GP25, you're going to aim a little bit higher, just above the head, at 50 meters, and you'll get it right on the base. However, at 100 meters, you should be aiming straight at the base of the enemy. So just there, take a shot, boom. Now the reason you aim for the base of the enemy is because you're not trying to kill them with the impact. You're trying to kill them with the fragmentation. If I was to take a shot at an enemy at a further distance and I miss the enemy, that explosion is going to be happening right behind them. So let's say if I take a shot down here and I just miss these guys. I aim a little bit too high. As you see, it goes way past them, way outside the damage radius, and those guys are still alive. So that's the basic notes of it, that you should always aim for the base of the enemy. You're better off shooting short than you are shooting far. As you can see here, I'm holding the GP25 fragmentation. It's available to the militia, insurgents, and the Russians. Now the range on this goes from 50 meters all the way up to 500 in terms of direct fire, and it has a special ability to shoot indirect at 200 and 300. You'll primarily use these in a mortar-like fashion to shoot over the top of buildings where you don't have direct line of sight, but you guess the enemies in some area within 200 to 300 meters in front of you. It's not very accurate, and I've never really used it often myself, but it sure has its uses. Now, something quite special about the GP25 is that the sighting on the left can be used to gauge distance. Now what I like to do is line up that bottom left corner bracket for 50 meters. As you can see, targets generally fit into that range. If they fit into there, and it's not too far off, it's about 50 meters. Now for 100 meters, I like to use that little box in the top left. As you can see, those two match up quite well, and that's about 100 meters away. And finally at 150 meters, just in the distance, you'll be able to see that the little spoke at the top, that gap lines up quite well at 150 meters. Now that only really works if the enemy's standing still and if you have a lot of time to spare. You won't have that very often, but this is a very rough way to guesstimate the range that you're going to be shooting at. Here you can see we have the L123A2 high explosive dual purpose. This is precisely the same as the GP25, except for the fact that the range only goes up to 350 meters, and the sighting tool is slightly different to that of the GP25. Of course, the reload is also different. And of course, finally we have the M203 high explosive dual purpose. This is exactly the same as the other two, except the sighting goes down the iron sights and it only ranges up to 250 meters. Now for some tips and tricks. You are able to use these grenade launchers on enemy technicals to take them out in about 3 shots. I'll demonstrate here. 1, oh, hello there. 2. As you see, it's starting to smoke. And 3. There we have it. Technical down in 3 HE grenade rounds. Another thing to note is that you should be using this on groups of enemies. If you can, try to avoid using this on singular enemies alone into the distance, as it will reveal your position and you're much better off actually shooting the enemy. Another thing to note is that it can destroy deployable cover. So as I'll show you here, unfortunately I didn't take it out that time. I'll take another shot, maybe a different one. These ones here. There we have it. Sandbags absolutely destroyed. Furthermore, it will also damage the enemy behind it. And they will take damage from it. That just about sums up a few tips and tricks, individual grenade launchers, and the basics of the grenade launcher. Hopefully, you'll now know how to use it and you'll stop trying to noob tube your way through. This is not Call of Duty, this is Squad. Thanks for watching.